The Mid Antrim 150, started in the mid-40s, is in its 51st year. And the venue for only the 9th year, the course which starts and finishes in Clough, a village 10 miles north of Ballymena. And once again, Ulster's best road racers were on the entry list as the chase for Irish titles continued. The fans had also turned out in force. Robert Dunlop on home territory, one local, the locals, would be cheering on. Hello and welcome to the 51st Mid Antrim 150. And this course of 3.5 miles, well, it's really built for the speed merchants. And on part of the circuit, the top riders can hit speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. Joey Dunlop has been a winner 15 times at the Mid Antrim, his debut over 25 years ago.
That's all right. It's a wee bit tight in the 3 road ends, you know. It's a bit like sub circuit, it's not too bad.
Some of the riders tell me it's a quick circuit.
Aye, it's quick because in town you only have the 3 really tight corners and then it's all really fast, but it's not too bad. There are a couple of good jumps and all that.
So it's enjoyable?
Oh, it is. It's nice to ride.
Dennis McCulloch of Black Skull had been a winner over the Mid Antrim course last year. He likes it.
I suppose it's one of the exciting courses there is, you know. It's one of the best of the national courses, so it is a good course.
Looking for another 125 win today?
Wouldn't mind, but going for it. 250 as well, probably, so try our best.
The helmet belongs to Donny Robinson of Cullybackey. At 43, he was making a comeback. Why?
I've asked myself that sometimes, but the ball's rolling now and we're in gear, and I think that we'll just go with it and for the time being anyway.
An Australian visitor on the grid was Bill Horseman, a veteran rider who just loves Irish road racing.
Oh, it's unbelievable, yeah. There's nowhere else in the world that you get anything like this. Until last year, I'd never ridden a 100-mile-an-hour motocross, and that's about what this is. It's brilliant.
So do people not think you're a bit crazy coming to Ireland for classic racing?
Oh, yeah, most of my mates. Yeah, but they're a bit demented also.
First up, it's the support race. Number 43, comeback man Donny Robinson of Cullybackey. Number 25, Ewell Duncan from Lifford. And 91, Belfast rider Paul Dornan. And they were off after the wink of an eye. On commentary, Harold Crooks.
The Mid Antrim 150 gets away with the support race. First man to show into Clough is number 22, Gary Stewart. The others take a variety of lines there, one even hitting the curb as they head for Alexander's jump for the first time. And it's Gary Stewart who leads from number 78, Brian Coogan, and then number 56 in there as well, that's George Jeffers. Over the jump they come, taking it easy on the first lap. A little bit of a wiggle there from Brian Coogan. Down into Dunbot corner for the first time. It's Stewart leading from Coogan. Then it's George Jeffers in third place. The field streams through. The last man through is number 72, Phil Archer from Dungannon. Down the glade towards the Harrows and out to Corby Corner. It's still Stewart. And he accelerates up the hill towards Wades Mill. The rest of the field following him, and down into Wades Mill comes Stewart. Speeds of 140 miles per hour achieved here as he goes through the left-hander up into the right-hander into Clough Village. Still heading towards... It's still Stewart coming down the gearbox. You can see his foot flick there. Brakes hard on, using the front brake only usually. He keeps a tight line as he goes out of the village. A little wheelie as he turns on the power. Goes back up the gearbox. Still in second place is that man, George Jeffers, and still third is Stevie Nugent in the red and yellow leathers. Across Alexander's jump, and the curb camera picks them up, showing the excitement of the speed at that particular point. Back into the start and finish area come Noel Gibson, Declan Lynch and Willie McKillop. And then it's Donny Robinson, who started in the third group ahead of Andy Thompson and Philip Shannon. They're on their way now to Alexander's jump. That place that sorts the men from the boys. Then we're back with some of the back markers. They're number 71, Declan Lynch, leading them again through the curb camera. At Wades Mill, it's still Gary Stewart, still keeping the head down. Flat out there, heading up into the village once again, round the right-hander. And it's Gary Stewart breaking up into the corner. The crowd watch as he rounds the hairpin, keeping a tight line. A back marker in front. The Seamus Green from Letterkenny, but he creates no problem for him as he heads towards Alexander's jump again. And the curb camera catches the excitement. The little jumps there. We're now back to Corby Corner, and it's still Gary Stewart who has led from the start. He has a quick look behind to see where the opposition is, and he's back at Wades Mill, still charging, keeping the pressure on the boys behind him. Then we see Nugent and that man, Colin Rogers, in third place. Gary Stewart round the village, Herpin once again, settles in, goes up the gearbox, his right elbow flicking there. And look at Colin Rogers, is he lining up Stevie Nugent for second place? No, he's still being content to sit there as they come to Alexander's jump once again. Holding back there, Nugent gets ahead. Oh, a real jump there from that man, Colin Rogers, number 41. Look at Phil Shannon, he must have lost the radiator cap of his machine as he leaves a stream of steam. Looks round to see who's behind. At Dunbot, it's still the same order, with Gary Stewart still leading, Nugent still second, Rogers is still third, turning on the power, and at Corby, Gary Stewart still leads, and he's pulling away slightly from Stephen Nugent, who has a look over his left shoulder, but Colin Rogers is up his right. The last lap flag goes out for the front three runners, but the lap was not completed as we had an incident and the race was stopped. The result for the race is then based on the positions at the end of the previous lap. So Stevie Nugent holding on to second place behind the eventual winner, number 22 there, Gary Stewart, who leads the touring machines back into the paddock.
Yes, in the end, Gary Stewart from Londonderry declared the winner. Donny Robinson had beaten Stewart in corrected time, but after jumping the start, he was penalised and relegated to 21st place. An oil spillage on the track at Dunbot was then to lead to a long delay, while officials started the mop-up job. Bike number 51 had caused the problem. Lima Valley rider Jason McLean had crashed out during the support race. The Honda 600 left in a bit of a mess, but Jason escaped with cuts and bruises. Back at the start and finish area, it meant a long and frustrating wait for the riders in the 125 class. They understood why there was a hold-up, and come the race, they'd have to be careful.
I don't know, wait till the side enough and then get a look at it. I'll get a power washing it now.
I don't want to sound facetious or anything, but for all the speed Trevor will be doing, I don't think it'll affect Trevor.
The waiting continued, but after over an hour's delay, the course was ready and a nail-biting 125 event was about to start.
The horn blows, all eyes on the starter. And here we go, Robert Dunlop from the outside beside brother Joey number 3, Dennis McCulloch number 4. They're into Clough-Herpin for the first time. It's Robert Dunlop. Joey on the outside, Dennis McCulloch tucked in there on the inside. Behind him it's Owen McNally. Alexander's jumped for the first time. Robert Dunlop leads from Joey Dunlop. Brother Joey in there in second place. Dennis McCulloch looking for a spot on the inside, sneaks into third place. They zing through the curb camera. At Dunbot corner, it's Robert Dunlop, Joey Dunlop, then Dennis McCulloch. The rest of them coming through there, last man through. Number 12 is Darren Burns. At Corby corner, the brakes on, a wiggle there from Robert Dunlop. Joey Dunlop in second, Dennis McCulloch third. Wades Mill, 130 miles per hour for the 125s. It's Robert Dunlop from brother Joey with Dennis McCulloch in third place. Then it's Owen McNally in fourth. On the brakes, look at the wiggles there from Robert Dunlop. The back wheels stepping left and right. Joey still second, McCulloch third. McNally fourth. Dines in fifth. Heads down behind the screens, tucking right in to get the maximum advantage. They come to Alexander's jump and it's Robert Dunlop from Joey Dunlop, Dennis McCulloch and Owen McNally. Two wheels in the air there for Robert. The curb camera gets the speed as they go round and back. It's still the same order with Robert Dunlop leading from Joey. Down the glade, Dennis McCulloch is third. Corby corner again, and Robert Dunlop accelerates. Looks over his left shoulder. Joey does the same. I wonder, is that a Dunlop trait for the two of them? At Wades Mill, it's still Robert Dunlop, but watch for Dennis McCulloch on the outside going for the spot on the inside of Joey. Yes, he makes it up into second place. Joey is now back to third, into the start-finish area. McCulloch is now second. Joey on the outside there. Owen McNally going for the inside spot. He goes up to third. So in a quarter of a mile, Joey Dunlop drops from second to fourth as Gary Dines still holds fifth. At Alexander's jump, Owen McNally now has Robert Dunlop in his sights. McCulloch is still third, Joey is fourth, both wheels in the air. Then it's Gary Dines getting the front wheel really high. And look at this, a bit of pushing and shoving from Robert Dunlop and Owen McNally. McNally takes the high road, Robert takes the low road. Some medical assistance there of a new kind for McNally. Look at it again. You make up your mind as to who was in the right and who was the wrong. I wouldn't dare hazard a guess. But Robert Dunlop stays on course. McNally gets back into the fray as they head down the glade. At Corby Corner, Robert Dunlop is already clear of Dennis McCulloch. Joey is now back up to third. Dennis McCulloch looks over his right shoulder. They're streaming now towards Wade's Mill and looking for Owen McNally, and he's in seventh place. Robert Dunlop, head behind the screen, keeps the power on. McCulloch is second. Couple of back markers there. Joey on the outside. Gary Dines, will he be able to take him at the same spot as Dennis McCulloch takes him? No. Still Robert holding his head down for as long as is possible. McCulloch breaks into Clough Village again and look for Dines on the outside. Over the jump. Oh, and a big one. A real cross up there from Robert Dunlop. Dennis McCulloch the same. Gary Dines gets the front wheel really elevated that time. And this 1-2-5 race, a really hot one. Gary Dines goes through the shot. There's McNally back ahead of Joey. He really has the red mist over the eyes this time. Robert Dunlop picking off the back markers as he comes into the village. Number 2 there was Richard McCready, one of the second group men. McCulloch now. And look at Dines, he's going round, looking for a pace round on McNally, but there'll be no way he'll get past McNally in this one. Curb camera, really exciting. Joey, a big jump there. At Wade's, it's still Robert Dunlop. Dennis McCulloch, and there's McNally now up to third and closing. Gary Dines is still in fourth place. Then we see Joey coming, last man in this shot, in fifth place now. Robert Dunlop gets the flag after a tremendously exciting 1-2-5 race.
Indeed, a small bag race to remember. Owen McNally eventually third behind Dennis McCulloch. Robert Dunlop's first local win for 3 years.
Got a good start and just basically held the lead. Just had that wee bit of a dash for Mr. McNally, and apart from that, it was all right.
I suppose it was a racing incident, but I think he was wrong. Maybe he thinks I was wrong, but you know, we went down into the corner and he put his knee against my bike. He says the bikes are tangled up, but I don't think so. I'm happy enough to a degree. I got the lap record, so it'll do me.
You must have enjoyed the win.
That, yeah. I mean, it's been eluding me for quite a while, and I won a couple of races in the Isle of Man, and then I won at Scarborough in England and one in Wales, but I just wasn't able to seem to get an Ulster one, but now I've got it, so hopefully I'll go on to a few more.
In the 200cc race, Tandragee's Raymond Hanna the winner there. Jack Sands in second place with George Scott third, all three on Hondas. For the 250 race, number 14 James Courtney, number 6 Gary Dines and number 4 Dennis McCulloch made up the front row.
There they go, it's McCulloch makes the whole shot. Gary Dines on the inside gets the whole shot. John Crease on the outside, running that little bit wide. Dennis McCulloch in third place, Joey Dunlop in fourth. Ian Morrell from Coleraine is also in there. They head down towards Alexander's jump for the first time. And it's Dines from Crease, from McCulloch, from Courtney, Joey Dunlop and Ian Morrell, the top 6. The 250s getting the front wheels even higher than the 125s. The battle on, but it's Marilyn's Gary Dines who leads them for the first time. Into Corby Corner, he cranks it left. Crease, Courtney, McCulloch, Joey Dunlop, Ian Morrell. Power on now as they head up out of Corby Corner, down into Wade's Mill at about 140 for the 250s. Crease in second place, then Courtney third. So the pattern being set. Dines breaking into the village. The back wheel pattering there under the braking. Keeps it really tight. Then it's Creeth in second place. Courtney is third. McCulloch is fourth. Then running with them in the 250 race is the open race, and the leader of the 750 class is Cumbria's Bob Jackson. The power on the 750 Kawasaki, making the front wheel paw the air. He'll be the quickest man probably today through Wades Mill at about 160 miles per hour. But it's back to the 250s, and Gary Dine leads. The front wheel shaking as he goes over Alexander's jump. Braking again. Oh, and looking. The braking there. The back wheel stepping out and in. Courtney, Creeth, Joy Dunlop gets past Dennis McCulloch. They're down now through the glade, down to Dunbot where we had the incident in the support race. New camera position here. And look at the battles there for second and for fourth. But at the front of the 750 class is still Bob Jackson from Cumbria on the McAdoo Kawasaki. Gary Dines goes past Seamus Green, number 44. Joey Dunlop and Dennis McCulloch still batting it out there for fourth and fifth. Joey there cranking it round the right-hander. It's Dines, again braking. That similar pattern from the patter of the back wheel as it goes round the village hairpin. Keeps the power on as he heads again for Alexander's jump. Look at the way he sweeps into it. Both wheels in the air. Then it's Creeth. Then it's James Courtney. Then Dennis McCulloch is up to fourth. Joey's back to fifth, but still has him in the sights. Joey gets the head down behind the screen. And it's number 35 there, Trevor Ferguson from the 350 class. He's followed by the 250 leader, Gary Dines, at Corby Corner. The 350, they're staying ahead. Then we have Norman Gordon and the 750 leader Bob Jackson. He squeezes past as he comes down into Corby Corner. The big 750 Kawasaki now accelerating out of the corner, and no doubt will leave the 250s well behind. And back to Dunbot and John Creeth. He goes straight on and headbutts the bales, gets off the bike, pulls it back. He has another go. He does it for a second time. This is unbelievable. He looks around to see who's coming. And in fact, it was Dennis McCulloch and Joy Dunlop going through. A bad mistake by Creeth. Up into the village, he has resurrected himself once again, getting past Dennis McCulloch and Joy Dunlop. And Alexander's jump, it's the leader, Gary Dines from Marilyn. At Browns, he cranks it through for the last time. Meanwhile, Creeth is making up for that lost ground. Ahead now of Dennis McCulloch and Joy Dunlop. And down into Wades Mill, Gary Dines comes, taking the Honda round the right hand into the village for the last time for a decisive win.
So no catching Marilyn's Gary Dines. John Creeth from Bushmill second, Dennis McCulloch third. Dines winning margin 28 seconds.
Wasn't too bad today. I got a very good start there and just seemed to get away, and just worked out nice.
But the Honda seemed to be flying.
Yeah, well, we've got a really good 250 there, and it touch wood, it never gives a lot of bother, so, and it goes well, so happy enough.
And I think your friends in the Moira Club will be very pleased with that victory.
Aye, well, they're all a good bunch of lads and work hard and supply the best of machinery, so yeah, it's good to do well for them.
And it keeps you right at the top of the championship.
Well, it's we're there at the minute anyway, so we'll just have to keep going and see what happens at the end of the year.
In the 350 class, Robert Hazelton from Dungannon took that ahead of Neil McWhirter and Trevor Ferguson, all three on Yamahas. And in the open race, the overall result, Gary Dines came out on top, Bob Jackson was second on the 750 Kawasaki, John Creeth in third spot. The Rego 600 now, number 13 Adrian Archibald, number 8 Richard Britton, Derek Young, number 5 and number 9 Bob Jackson were on the front row for what was to be a very exciting race.
And all eyes on the starter as the riders blip the throttles, keeping the revs going there. The clutches are in. They're going for the village for the first time. Derek Young in the centre has to move across as Adrian Archibald keeps the tight line inside Bob Jackson. Out of the village to go. It's Archibald from Jackson. Towards the jump for the first time. Archibald, Jackson, Britton, McFarland is the running order. Championship leader Derek Young in 5th place. Stephen Ferguson in 6th. A little hop as they come down into the bot corner for the first time. It's Archibald, Jackson, Britton, McFarland, Young and Ferguson. A really tight bunch as they head down the glade towards Corby Corner, where it's still Archibald from Jackson, Britton's 3rd, McFarland in there, Derek Young still in 5th place. Down into Wade's Mill. Look at this, the battle's really on. A lucky 13 there for Adrian Archibald at the moment. Into the village they come. Archibald holding off Bob Jackson. Richard Britton in 3rd. Derek Young edging up the inside there to take 4th place from under the nose of Adrian McFarland, with Ferguson still in 6th. Heading for the jump once again, still Archibald. Jackson in 2nd, Britton 3rd, Derek Young now in 4th, and they really get the 600s up there as they go over the jump. Stephen Ferguson, a really big one. Bob Jackson has got him. Bob Jackson has eyed him up, and he now demotes Adrian Archibald to 2nd place, with Britton still 3rd. Jackson, Archibald, the running order at Corby. They accelerate up the hill. Archibald looks round to see Richard Britton in 3rd place. Derek Young has his squint. And it's Jackson at Wade's Mill from Adrian Archibald. That's the running order. They're pulling away from the rest of the field. Is Jackson going for a repeat of his win at the Temple? At the moment he is. But look at Archibald going for the inside again. Is he going to reclaim the lead? He does. They're in Clougherpin, and Adrian Archibald takes the lead over again from Cumbria's Bob Jackson. And what a battle from these two at the front. Derek Young hanging on in there now in 3rd place. Back to the jump. Archibald really wide. And he gets the front wheel up. Jackson goes for it. And he's got him for a 2nd time. It's Bob Jackson back to the lead of this Regal 600 race. Adrian Archibald in 2nd. Derek Young 3rd. Richard Britton 4th. Adrian McFarland 5th. Stephen Ferguson 6th. And coming into Corby Corner, it's still Bob Jackson from Adrian Archibald. Derek Young in 3rd place. Richard Britton in 4th. The battle really on. Derek Young there swinging round left up the hill. Adrian McFarland in 5th place has a quick look over his shoulder, but it's still Jackson from Archibald. Derek Young in 3rd and closing. Up into the village. Jackson and Archibald on the outside this time. Derek Young is starting the closing. Starting the closing on the leading pair. Jackson, Archibald, Young. Out of Clough Village and round the right-hander. Heading towards the jump. And here they come, and it's still Jackson from Archibald. But watch that man Young in 3rd place for the moment. Getting over the jump, the front wheels paw the air again. Jackson on the brakes. Concentrating. Little flick of the head there from Archibald. But certainly Derek Young is the man on the charge. He's right with Adrian Archibald this time. Jackson still comfortably in the lead. Is he going to repeat his Temple success? But Derek Young, yes, he's there behind you. Archibald looks over his shoulder to see him in full frame. At Wade's Mill, Bob Jackson pulls it slightly away, and Derek Young is now up to 2nd place. Derek Young is the man in the charge. He's caught Adrian Archibald. Time for a chat between times. It's still Bob Jackson, but watch Young. He goes for the inside line. But Bob Jackson closes the door, runs a little bit wide, a little bit of a wheelie there, almost out of control, but he still stays ahead of Derek Young. Now they're putting a lot of daylight between them and Adrian Archibald. At the jump. Jackson over, Young over, head behind the screen. And look at the battle on here. Victor Gilmour goes round the outside there of the support race winner. They're up into Clough having their own private battle. The back marker still battling it out as well. Number 86 there, Kenneth Bowman. But look at the front. It's still Bob Jackson from Derek Young. Down to a two-horse race now as they pull away from the third place man, Adrian Archibald, who had spells at the front. Bob Jackson, Derek Young. Oh, and it's tight, really tight. Is Young going for him on the inside? No, there's no room there. Vicious braking. But it's still Jackson from Young. All down to power and speed now. Bob Jackson is the clear road. Derek Young's getting the drag. They're at Alexander's jump again. Jackson goes across, really pushing on. Third place man now, Adrian Archibald. Richard Britton in fourth, number 8. A big wheelie from him. At Corbett Corner, Kenneth Bowman is the back marker. Will he make any difference to the leading two? Heading for clock for the last time. Jackson still ahead as they come down into Wade's Mill, the fast stretch. Up into the village they come. Derek Young having a look if there's any space. He goes for the outside line, but it must be a judge's decision in that one.
Yes, a really thrilling finish with Derek Young only just pipping Bob Jackson and Adrian Archibald got third. Even the riders weren't sure who'd won.
I still couldn't just be 100% sure as I got to the line. I think Bob just sat up that fraction too early because I knew it would be tight, but I had to have a go.
I don't know if they've given it to him or not, have they?
Yes, they've given it to him, and he said to me that he thought you maybe sat up a bit too early.
Yeah, I must have done, yeah. I must have sat up on the grid instead of where the line is. I won't do it again.
The next race for classic bikes was to end in tragedy.
Getting ready for the checker flank.
On the 7th lap, two riders, Brian Campbell from Ballygon and John Ennis from Newton Arch, collided. The race was stopped. Campbell sustained leg injuries, but the 24-year-old Newton Arch rider had been fatally injured. As a mark of respect, the rest of the day's racing was abandoned. It was a tragic end to the 1997 Mid Antrim 150.